Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPLElmer. We're going to be going through my Uefa Matchday 17 team selection. But before we get into that, I'd like to thank you all guys for the continued support on the channel. With this being the last fantasy video in a while, that maybe we'll get Club World Cup stuff. Still yet to know about that. But for now, this is going to be the last fantasy video on the channel, and I'd like to thank you all guys for the continued support on the channel through this season. It's really been a wonderful season. Thanks to you guys for the continued support on all my socials, uh, be it shorts, be it long content, be it pictures. The support has really been incredible. And once again, I'd like to thank all of you. And yeah, but for now, we're still aiming to get 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure you share, and hit that bell so you don't miss any content going up on the channel. Just wasting any much time, let's get straight into it. So first, we're going to go through my match the 16 team review, where I managed to score 58 points and a small red arrow from around 2,100 to 2,400. So we'll take that. So we had Donnarumma in goal with 3 points, same as Saliba and Mensch, all blanking. So you can see I decided to go the defender route and captain Mensch, and I should have gone for Hakimi. All things considered, who scored 12 points. We had Dumfries with 8 points, another strong display from Dumfries. Dembele blanking for 4 points. Saka, I think, got a goal, 6 points. Rafinha, 7 points. Disappointing display from Barcelona. And then we had the three players up top. Lautaro scored a goal for 8 points. Thuram and Due all blanked for 3 and 2, respectively. So the team for match day 16. A few changes to be made, of course, to the match day 17 team. And now let's look at the match day 17 is going to be cooking for us. So for match day 17, with it being a final, we're going to only two teams, Inter and PSG. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to win the is going to win the UEFA Champions League final. Let me know down in the comments. So I've opted to go with a mixture of both, and personally, I want PSG to win because I just love how they've been playing football throughout the group stages and the knockout stages. The teams have managed to defeat along the way has been incredible, and that's why I think I want to have PSG to win, of course, and I want Ousmane Dembele to lift that Ballon d'Or trophy as well. And yeah, so we have Soma and Donnarumma in goal. And just a disclaimer, I do not have any idea who I'm going to be starting in the team that I'm going to be showing here. So there's going to be completely guesswork at the camp on Saturday when the lineups are out. There's going to be what the gut feeling is going to be saying. So we're having Soma and Donnarumma in there. Um, so that's just 50-50 split. Then you can go for whoever you want. But the two main goalkeepers. Then you have going to be having Hakimi and Mensch from PSG in the defensive line. Just think they're the most attacking players. Although Mendes did not look very attacking against Arsenal, I think maybe because he was up against Saka, who's a very tricky player. So I don't know how it's going to be. It's going to be up against Dumfries. It's going to be an interesting battle. We're going to be having Hakim and Mensch. Speaking about Dumfries, we're going to be having Bastoni, Dumfries, and De Vrij from Inter. I've gone for three Inter players, three Inter defenders rather in there is because I think Bastoni and Dumfries and De Vrij look very good from corners. They've been scoring corners for fun, especially Dumfries and De Vrij look very good from corners. And of course, Dumfries speaks for itself. When you look at the semi-final against Barcelona, the way he was moving up and back, up and front, up and back in the defensive line for for Inter. That's why I have gone for him in there and hoping for some attacking returns. Has been performing Bastoni also just attacking returns and the same as the Fry. And I've gone for Marquinhos and Pacho, but they don't score a lot of goals. And PSG tend to concede a lot of goals as well. So I've just gone for the attacking players in Hakimi and Men. So that's the defense. So now let's look at the midfield. So this is how the midfield is going to be looking like. Going to be having Kvaratskhelia in there, and we also have Vitinha and Usman Dembele from PSG. So of course, Inter don't have a lot of good scoring midfielders. So that's why I've gone for more of PSG in there. In Kvaratskhelia, Vitinha and Dembele. Kvaratskhelia and Dembele speak for themselves. Although there's slight concern on Kvaratskhelia when quite researched, whether he's going to be back before the final because he did pull out in the final that PSG had, I think, last weekend. So that's slight concern there and something to look out for. But for now, he's going to be on the team. And of course, he is not going to be starting. He's going to have him on the bench because you can only field 11 players, which I think a lot of people are forgetting. You can only field 11 players for match the 17. Then we have Vitinha, who's not going for him because he just on penalty for PSG, and I think he's one of the best midfielders for that. That's because of the penalties. Then you have Usman Dembele, who's most likely going to be starting up front, and I hope he's going to be able to perform. Then from Inter, I've gone for Chalanoglu and Barella, and we are going for Chalanoglu just because he's on penalties for Inter, and you never know what's going to happen. And that's why we covered up the penalty takers in Chalanoglu and Vitinha, which I think is ideal, especially in a final, just to be decided by a penalty. And those two taking penalties, I think it's a no-brainer to have them. And then we have Barella in there, and honestly, just to fill up the Inter numbers, if I'm being honest, because he does not tend to score a lot of goals. He's not a box crusher. He just around there. Maybe he has an assist or two in him, but I think he's going to be on the bench. So yeah, that's what I've gone for in midfield. I don't think there's any other Inter midfielder who is more likely to perform better than Çalhanoğlu because of just the penalties. And yeah, so that's the midfield. Looks pretty solid as well, full of goals and assists. So now let's look at the forward line. So when it comes to the forward line, you all know that there are not a lot of forwards in the game because PSG literally only have one, while Inter have four, but they only field two out of the four, which is interesting and very convenient, I'd say. But of all the forwards, Lautaro is the only one who looks dangerous. So I think everyone is going to have Lautaro in there, and I think everyone is going to have Thuram in the same as Desiree Doué. I think the only place where people might mix it up is maybe in the midfield and going backwards. I think the front line is going to be Martinez, Thuram, and Doué for everyone, so there's no differential in there as those are only fit and starting forwards in Uefa Fantasy at the moment. So just hope that all of them are going to be able to perform so we can all have and be happy with our front three. So that's the team for Matchday 17, the final fantasy. And once again, I'd like to thank you all guys for the continued support on the channel. And with that, if you wanted to reach this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.